Someone You Should Know. A program about people you know and even more that you don't. Hosted by Stuart Sachs, veteran, husband, father, and grandfather. Now, here's your host, Stuart Sachs.
Well, howdy again from Texas. That's what we say in Texas, howdy. But welcome to Someone You Should Know. Glad to have you with us again. With us, I guess with me again, because as I posted on my promo, I did have a guest for this morning, but unfortunately they were called away to a meeting this morning and had to cancel at the last minute. I scrambled around and everybody that I called was busy in a meeting or in town, out of town, whatever. I thought, okay, so you know what? We got a phone line and we're going to throw the phone line out there in just a moment for you. And whoever calls in first, Mark Warner is sitting by the phone waiting for that call to come in. And that person is going to get on the air and they will be someone you should know. But the program is brought to you by two very, very good friends. One of them is Irving Chung, who is a franchise consultant. Irving knows absolutely everything there is to know about franchising. And yeah, maybe you've never thought about it, but maybe you should. Because even if you are full-time, doesn't mean you have to give up your job and pour a whole bunch of money for a franchise. You can get into franchising even part-time in a very small way, both financially and time-wise. Want to know more about it? Call Irving Chung or go to his website at bigconsideration.com. Get in touch with him. You can get a free consultation. You know who else gives free consultation? Is Christine Dean. And Christine Dean is the DFWnetworkingdiva.com. If you have a website and it's been a little stale, maybe it needs a fresh look, maybe it needs a little upgrading in order for you to make more money from that website, call Christine Dean. She again will give you a free consultation and she can help you just do magic on your website, add whatever is needed, make it look great, and help you increase your bottom line. Christine Dean, Irving Chung, two very, very good friends. All right, so here's a phone number. If you're watching, you're listening.
Hold on. Got a better option.
Got a better option? Uh-oh.
Yeah, forget about the phone number. So here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
You guys are all here watching via Facebook. Maybe some of you are watching YouTube. I'm going to put in the comments, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to put the link to this show right now. And I mean, give me a second. And then what's going to happen is you're going to click the link and you're going to come into the green room with your camera and your microphone, and you'll be live with us right here if you're interested. So let me click it.
First stop is the green room. You stop there and get makeup and maybe a quick drink. I think we've got champagne and caviar in the green room.
Yep.
You grab some hors d'oeuvres and a quick champagne and everything, and Mark will then get you right into the show. Is that cool? You don't even have to call.
It went to Facebook on 2 pages and YouTube on 3 channels, and there's the link. So all you gotta do is click on the link. I'll see you come up down here in the green room, and there is free whiskey, free champagne, free hors d'oeuvres. It's all there. Don't worry about the makeup. You just come as you are.
There you go.
I'm here. I'm just coming as I am. You know
what could be, and he's already been down to the green room and had a little bit of whiskey and some caviar and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's ready to go.
Hold on, I'm gonna go have. Okay, I'm back. Well, that was some good whiskey.
What you call a quick shot.
That was a quick shot. But feel free to come on, click on that link, and come on here and join Stuart. And if you got a question, if there's something you want to rant about, I mean, topic's open. The floor is open for discussion.
That's right. And what's the maximum number of people we could get on if more than 10 people? No kidding. We could get 10 people on here.
Well, 8 more besides the 2 of us, but yeah.
So you don't have to worry about, being embarrassed. You can get on the show. We can talk. If you want to talk for 5 minutes and drop off, that's okay too. If you want to stay for the whole show.
Where is Ty Foley when you need him?
Huh? Well, and
I just
I
called him
called
out.
Ty because I asked Ty and I asked Doug. We were going to do a Three Amigos show, and both of them dumped out on me. Said they were both. Ty had a meeting,
Are you telling me the two idiots can't make it to a show?
I'm telling you, I think what they do, they each got a lucky break at the last minute, and they said, you know what, maybe we should grab these other connections, because maybe it'll put some money in our pocket. Because whenever we come on this show, they ain't going to get nothing out of it. Except a good laugh.
And comedy and fun and friendship, camaraderie. I mean, and free whiskey down the green room.
That's right. Yeah. Well, see, I don't think that Doug or Ty knew about the whiskey part. Now that they know, maybe they're going to hurry up and get out of their meeting and then log in. So you can go to the Facebook, you can go to the YouTube links and everything, find the link, click on it and you'll end up on the show if you want. But
that'd be awesome.
In the meantime, and if nobody calls in, well, that's going to kind of give me a bad complex because I keep talking about how this fantastic audience is of mine that's nationwide, and I know they're there. I sent a note out to all of my even my high school fans from my reunions and everything, and said, "Hey, look, the mic is open. You want to join me on the show? Just go in and link in, and we'll get you on the show." So we'll see if.
The thing is, though, it is summer. It's been busy. People are traveling. Kids are doing things. And it's just, it's really kind of all over the place. But yeah. I'll tell you that some of my shows recently, I say recently, in the last 12 months, and I can't say that it's post-COVID, but we're going to call it post-COVID, have changed. Their dynamics and their direction of their shows have become more podcast versus what we're watching live, right? So I know specifically one of my shows, they'd hardly get any live watches, but they get 13, 14, 1,500 views during the week as time permits for the other people. So, it's getting harder and harder. I think people are more on the go right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny and interesting when you think about it. So I'm outside, I'm working like a worker bee. I'm just trying to get projects done around the house and things I want to do and blah, blah, blah. And my thought process is I only got a couple of months left before winter hits. And in winter, I'm going to be stuck inside. I'm going to try and get outside and do some things. But, when you got 200 inches, 300 inches of snow coming for the fall, there's not a whole lot you can do outside except shovel snow.
You better be out there chopping some wood right now.
I have at least four cords, 4.5 cords of wood. So I've got plenty to get me through. And we didn't burn that much this last year. We did quite a bit, but not as much as the year before. And but last year we just didn't run the fireplace as much as it. And if you did it, if you're using the heat as a general heat, that's one thing. But when you're using it as a standby, it's a chore. It's like you got to get the thing lit, you got to get the fluid open, blah, 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 right? And next thing you know, then somebody's got to stay till the fire's out, then you got to shut the thing and blah, blah, blah. So it's just, it's not our source of heat. It is our, what do you call it? The ambient of it. Yeah.
Well, do you find up there in northern Michigan, and by the way, I got another question to ask you too. Up in northern Michigan, you don't necessarily want to go out and plow the drive and all, because when the snow comes down up in Michigan, it's nice pure white snow, and you love to see it on the trees and on the yard, and you don't really want to mess it up. Well,
we have a little bit different snow here. It is snow with glitter. It has a silver glistening to it that is actually unbelievable. It's unimaginable to think about the type of crystal that we have in this type of snow. But it is a crystallized that's on the snow, but it looks like it's snow with ice around it. And it's like little ice capades of little crystals and glitter that's just been spread all over the place. So when the sun comes out, or in the evening when the sun's kind of going down, you can see it just glisten across there. So it's funny how you say that. You don't want to go mess it up. Well, right. There's an art to that, by the way. And we have this road called Hayes Tower, It's the only road that is the quickest road between us and to get to town. Okay. It's a 9-mile long road. And the only way to get to town is we go that way, or we go a longer way around two other different roads, but they're just farther out. Either way, it takes 15 to 20 miles to get to town. Okay. This one road, if you watch people, it's an art. They will come straight down their driveway, manicure it, curve off to the sides of the road, and then clear off areas and push everything in nice areas. And they keep their driveways clean, but they don't mess with the yard. Nobody's stepping in the yard. Nobody's throwing up things. Maybe
Right.
to do the snowman, but then the snow comes back, fills that all in, right? You don't just go make a muck. Well, it's funny because this last year, I worked harder on making a dog run than I did working on the driveway. So you get out the door, we cleared off our patios, we cleared off the walking area to the cars in order to get to the garage and all that stuff, right? But just straight out to the yard, like straight off the grass, I made a path 15 to 20 feet out, about 4 to 6 feet wide. So when we went to go walk the dogs, we had an area to go to, and even though it was probably, I don't know, 8 to 10, 12 inches deep sometimes, I feathered it off so it kind of went upwards.
Right.
So that once it packed in, you had a walking area, and then you weren't just like walking in 2 feet of snow. You just were already there. So
there's a science behind all of this.
yes.
And you find it when on the road going in and out of town that everybody shares the same tire tracks. You know, nobody really kind of veers. You just get in the same tire tracks because you figure the more cars that go over it, the closer you get to seeing the asphalt.
And what's funny is on days when not a whole lot of traffic, the car that's been driving drove right in the middle of the road. And so there you are, you're just driving in the middle of the road. Nobody's coming, you know. It's not like today where cars are going both sides and everything, just, you know, because everybody's here. But during the winter, it's like, you know, 1 car a day, 5 cars a day. So everybody just goes down the middle of the road. So you try to stay out to the right and you're like, what am I doing? Let's get over here and get in the tracks.
Right. Or if the temperature really drops and it gets a little icy, if you kind of veer off of the tracks in the road, it kind of moves you back in. Yeah.
You know what's really interesting though is, and I don't know, I know you've been up in the northern area, but a lot of people are like, you know, it's hard to drive in this weather and everything. Let me just say that I have to give kudos to Otsego County in our township. They do a really good job at clearing the main roads. So while you think that you typically couldn't go the speed limit, let's say 55 miles an hour, which is down Mansalona Road, in the winter, when it's icy and snowy, you can go 55 miles an hour. And you can go 40 miles around the curves. Why? Because they've done a really good job. It's almost as if they have a heater underneath there. It's not slick. A few spaces where there's some black ice, but it's very rare. But those are on the main roads. Now, on the back roads and everything to people's houses and stuff, they do maintain those roads to a certain degree, but not like the main road where it's like totally clear. It's almost as if they have a snowplow come there and then a scraper and then a brusher. It's like, because it's always immaculate. Hardly, unless it really came down overnight and it just, you know, overloaded the system, it's always clean.
Well, people are always also prepared because a lot of y'all have, you know, the tires specifically for winter, or you've got 4-wheel drive vehicles, and that makes some sense. Hey, listen. The lines are still open, folks. You can go to kvgimedia.com. That's one of the places you can go and find the link to the show and join us.
And the link's right there in the comments. You guys are watching the video. It's right there. Just look down there below the comments.
I don't see. Oh, comment. Let me see. Got to look over there. Comments. Oh, yeah. Who wants to be live? Who wants to be? Yeah. There's all the comments. So somebody. There's going to be a huge prize at the end of the show for the person that does join us. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
So who's the person that loves us the most? I think her name is Karen.
Oh,
Karen now. Karen,
Albuquerque Karen. She even answered when I sent the promo in. She answered by going, You know, so you know this may be your chance, Karen. So
It may be the only chance that we'll give you live on air. We'll both say thank you for those nuts that I ate.
Right, and I think she's been wanting to share a few words with you over the last couple of years anyway. So this might be your opportunity to do it.
I'm here. I'm here for the roasting.
There you go. Hey, I got a question for you. I saw something that came over the news wires.
Yeah.
That there was a bomb threat on the Mackinac Island Bridge.
Okay, so two things. Number one, hi, Tim Nelson. Tim says he's here too, listening away. Tim, if you'd like to come on and talk, there's the link right there. Feel free to. I know you're a shy person, but if you want to get unshy, come on. And so two things out of what you just said. It's Mackinac.
Mackinac, okay.
Not Mackinac. They will chastise you.
Is it Mackinac City or is it Mackinac City?
Mackinac.
Okay, nothing up there is Mackinac? Okay, all right, then I stand corrected. So there was a bomb threat on the Mackinac Bridge.
Yes, they called a bomb threat in. They shut the freeway down, shut both ends down. I think they spent somewhere between 3 and 5 hours. They looked over the entire bridge, did the whole thing. I mean, people that live on the other side of the bridge, they had to wait 4 or 5 hours. They had to sit on the side of the freeway. Fortunately, it's not winter and it's nice weather. It's been 70, 75 degrees, but either way, it's time away from trying to get to their destination, and all for nothing. But they had to do it. It's a job that
Sure.
the service gets called in for bomb threats. You know, it was called in, and but they did the whole look on the bridge and everything, and nothing was found.
Is there only one bridge going over to Mackinac Island?
Yes,
just the one bridge, but there is a ferry that goes back and forth, right?
Yeah, ferry goes to Mackinac City and then goes over to Ignacio.
Okay, so now my follow-up question to that is, there's a bridge that goes over to Mackinac Island, but I thought that they don't allow vehicles on the island.
So there's really technically no bridge that goes to Mackinac Island. It's just ferry only. It's just in order to get over the Great Lakes, you can go through Mackinac Bridge in order to get to the other side. But to get to Mackinac Island, it's ferry only. Now there is one vehicle on the island, and it's an ambulance. And the last time it was driving down the road was in 1997. And yeah, so they had carriages and horses, and probably, and I'm probably going to be off with this number, but I'd say a minimum of 10,000 bicycles. Now, yeah. I think about this, folks. 10,000 bicycles, because the only way you're going to get around the island is bicycle or by horse. And the horse is usually a carriage and usually can carry 2, 4, 6, 8 people, depending on which one you get. Or your third option,
foot.
Little walking.
Foot traffic.
Yep.
And of those 10,000 bicycles, some of those are resident owned and the rest of them are for rent.
That is correct. Yeah, and it's not very much, and there's all kinds of restaurants there. We've been a couple of times. We've eaten there. There's several famous places there, like a chocolate factory and a few seafood restaurants that are there. But and then there's I can't remember the name of it, but there is a military post there on the island, and it's Fort something. But I honestly can't remember it. I have not been in it. The last time I was going to go, Hay and Claley had come up here to visit with us, and we were going to go, but we had already been walking around so much, and we were tired. When we saw how high it was to walk up the stairs, which was no less than 1,000 stairs or steps, it was. We saw that it was 1,000 steps, and it was $40 a person, and we're like, I don't have really $40 is no big deal, but I don't know if I can do 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
So.
But the Grand Hotel is still fully functioning, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a lot of old stuff there still functioning, and there are the residents that live there. I mean, the island's not that big, and I don't know how many people live there, but year round there are homes. Now they have no cars. People that do live on the island that travel, take the ferry across, get on to Mackinac City, which is really where the bridge is, and then get into their carpool or their cars and then drive off from there. So it's pretty interesting to think about the lives that they have over there, right? This is like anything. And you're in a city, you can just get in your car. Within 5 minutes, you could be at a destination, right? 7 minutes max. Me, it's a 3-hour tour. I have to think about, I can't just go into town every single day. It costs gas and time. It's 15 miles there, 15 miles back. It's a 3-hour tour. It takes you 45 minutes to get there. And it's 45 minutes to get back, plus you're shopping, whatever you do. So we plan it out. We say, okay, hey, today's Wednesday, right? I'm going to go into town on Friday. So we'll make our stops. I went to town yesterday and I went to 4 places. And hit every single one of them, and then came back, and I was here in 3.5 hours, 4 hours, right? Well, in Mackinac, it is you have to think about the day. I may not be back until midnight tonight, or you know what, I may just stay offshore and not come back till tomorrow, because ferry only runs so many hours of the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does the ferry shut down after dark or something?
Yeah, somewhere I would say 9, 10 p.m., maybe 8 p.m. I can't remember. It changes different times of the season. But think about what they have to do. Hey, honey, I got to go into work. Got to get over to the ferry, get on the ferry, time-wise, then get over where you need to go, and then get to your destination, right? But at the same time, then you're working, then you think, okay, well, I got to get home. So how far did I drive out? Is that an hour drive to the bridge? Then there's another hour to the ferry to get home. It's a process. So what takes you 5-7 minutes takes me 3 hours, might take them 5 hours. You know, and not including the day of the work they have to do. Hey, by the way, we do have a comment that came in.
Okay.
Well, your wife, Lauren, said she loves Mackinac and would love to come on and talk about her vacay, and but the link and the phone number don't work. The link does work. I posted the link from here. What do you mean the link doesn't work? I posted it straight from the invite.
Got the link right now. You can even just, if you go to the comment.
Guess who we got in the green room?
Who do you got?
Somebody that wants the free whiskey.
Somebody.
He wants the hors d'oeuvres, the whiskey, the bourbon, the cigars. He wants everything, and he's actually shaking his head. And I'll give you 2 guesses with the shortest name of ever.
The shortest name ever.
Yep.
Ty.
Yeah.
It starts with awesome.
See, I knew there would be a way to get you out of a meeting.
Yeah, well, you know, I heard you guys chit chat, and I just felt like I was obligated to come and try to help out.
Yeah, it was, he heard his name.
My butt out, right?
He heard his name. It called him out.
I love the filler you got there, Stuart. Mark, for crying out loud. So, you know, wow, really were scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I thought you were the bottom of the barrel. I'm even offering you free whiskey.
Well, he asked for me before you. So what does that say, huh?
Yeah. And I could just see Ty was probably just sitting back and thought, well, maybe I'll just listen into the show while I'm really here busy working.
Yeah.
And then when we mentioned hors d'oeuvres and whiskey, he probably went,
great.
Well, wow, maybe
yeah. I started drooling, man.
Yeah,
I had changed shirts.
Said, boss, listen, I got a call. I got another call coming in. Got to take it. Very important.
Yeah, these are really important people. No one ever said.
Hey, at least Doug is not here.
What's that?
I said at least Doug is not here.
Yeah. He didn't make it. So that would really spin this thing out of control, wouldn't it?
I'd have to cancel.
But you know what? If Doug even attempts to see what's going on here, I wouldn't put it past him to do the same thing and say, listen, I better put whatever I'm doing on hold because I got to get into that show. Yeah. Because otherwise we'll say bad things about him.
Well, he just needs as much free publicity as he can get. So, yeah. Of course, he always comments about the big following that you have. So, anyway.
Speaking of free publicity, looking over your shoulder, looks like you're working on another piece of artwork back there.
Yeah, this is my studio, office, crap room. You know,
it's the
don't say that's because
room.
of my art.
Are those some blue bonnets that you're working on that piece in the back?
It's actually an abstract piece that has that I did yesterday, and I'm not sure about it. I did it rather quickly, but I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out because I again was experimenting with things, and it kind of has an ocean feel to it. So, but I put a red sun in there and the blue sky, and I'm just kind of messing around with it, So that's something I like to do. I just like to experiment and see what happens.
That's my experiment.
What?
I hung the flag.
Oh, you hung the flag. Oh, I was going to say, what did you make that?
I made it up on the wall.
That's hey, listen. It takes an art to put that nail into the wall, and put it just in the right place to hang it.
Damn, you are so skilled. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I do have something though. 1 second. I do have. Oh, shut up.
Take a break, folks. You can come back in a few minutes.
My drink is on the floor.
It's around here someplace.
Yeah. So last time I was in Dallas, one of my veteran friends, Josh Futrell, decided to get into, and I don't know what it is underneath here, but we'll just call it some kind of watercolors and stuff. And then he got into epoxy that he would seal on top of it, and it would seal it up. So I've got these three. So there's 3 frames.
Yeah. And
you can put them in any way, shape, or form. But the colors and everything were so cool that I said, hey, I'd like to have it. I really get in there, but I've got to.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, you won't have to hang that one. So anyway.
But no, so he's not selling them or anything like that. It's kind of a therapy for him. And I saw the colors, and it was the first one he did. And I said, hey, that's perfect. That's my favorite colors. Blue. I love it. Just what you got at the back of your background too. That blue at the top is one of my favorites. And so I brought it home, and I haven't hung it yet, but so I'm getting into some art.
That's a acrylic.
Yes.
For art.
Correct.
And you let it dry, of course, and then you put that resin on top, which is actually pretty tricky to do. I've tried it once, and I like the look, but I like to see the texture, and that kind of takes the texture out of it.
Well, so not to critique him or anything, but like I said, this was his first experiment. Right. I don't know that you can see it, but because it's on a canvas background, he did use blue tape around the sides. And there is an edge here because it was his first time. Now he got better at it, but to me, this is not a flaw. To me, this is somebody's mind and their heart, and they poured it out, and they created and swirled things to make it look like it was in their eyes and their vision, their heart. Yeah. So to me, that means more to me than what the outside really looks like. I could care less, but it's just the thought process, and just to have it from a friend and kind of know the background of what it was to him, that means more to me than anything else. So to me, that's the result of an end of an art.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
Now, Ty, is that kind of a process? We have a mutual friend, Deborah Hardigan Vestines, who does, wall type stuff. I'm talking 4 foot by 8 foot, but she does a similar kind of a process. Is that also an acrylic process that she does over her work?
It probably is. As I said, it's called pour art, where you thin the acrylic paint, and then you can mix it, and there's different ways to do it, to manipulate the paint, and then you just literally pour it on, and then you can tilt the canvas around, and it does all kinds of neat things.
Okay.
You never know exactly what you're going to get because it's so thinned out. It's thinned out with water and with Floetrol, and some people actually put a few drops of silicone, liquid silicone in it that creates what they call cells, like little circles. So you can plan all you want, but it'll probably turn out something different, and usually it turns out pretty cool. So you have to let it dry, and then that's when you put on this resin. And it is a tricky process to do that because you get dust in it and you have to kind of flick it off and before it dries, because once it dries, it's done. Anything underneath that, anything in that resin is there forever.
So are you saying that you put the resin on before the paint is dry?
No, you wait. You wait. The canvas is totally dry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's usually how. Now, I'm no expert in this. I don't do a lot of pieces like that, but folks that do, they may. I don't know. I've not heard of that, but you never know. I mean, as I say, people experiment with stuff, and that's the adventure and the fun of it.
Well, to get serious for a moment, and I rarely do that with Ty. Ty is a special kind of an artist, because not only does he do great work and a variety of different kinds of work, from acrylics to oils and to watercolors and all, but Ty is also connected to the community, and very often will donate a piece of art for a nonprofit. He is currently going to be working with the Frisco Theater Frisco, I should say, in presenting a piece of art to help raise funds. And it's something that I think few artists really do. Every once in a while, somebody will donate a piece for an auction and all. But I know that you like to reach out to the community and to veterans causes and all, to not only show your art, but to offer a piece of art for an auction or so. And I thank you very much for that. Yeah,
it's one of the things I really, and again, in all seriousness, which is kind of hard to do.
I know.
In front of you guys.
We have a time limit on it too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get all sappy here. But yeah, I really do enjoy doing the donations and being a part of a group and helping in some way. I was recently invited and joined the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce, and I've attended a couple of meetings virtually for that. And although I didn't serve in the military, my father did. He was a career Marine, and he was with the 1st Marine Division that landed on Guadalcanal in World War II. He was also in Korea, and he was also in Vietnam. He was also stationed at the Pentagon, which I was born at Bethesda Naval Hospital when he was stationed there. So anyway, very dear to me, and anytime I can donate something to any first responders, military, whatever, I will do it. There's one particular charity that has it's the Warren Center. They're based out of Richardson, and they help families with kids that are maybe have some sort of learning disability and have a hard time paying for services. Well, they have a center there, and every year up until the dreaded pandemic hit us, they would have an event, a gala event, where they would have works auctioned off. And, I've been extremely fortunate to be a part of that. And I've given away or donated 5 or 6 pieces for that. So, if it raises some money and the art itself gives someone some pleasure, I'm all in. So.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And there is a term for what Ty and Mark are, and they're called patriots. And it's interesting because it's a word that really is only caught on over maybe the last decade, that you either were a veteran or you did not serve in the military. But, even if you supported veterans and veteran causes and everything, there was really never a handle that was put on people that did that. And you mentioned the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce. I would say, because I'm a member of it also, and I am a veteran, but I would say probably 50% of the members of the chamber are not veterans. They're patriots. They support veteran causes. They're involved with veterans in a variety of ways. And we're starting to find that there are an awful lot of patriots in this company that support veteran causes, that are involved with veteran issues and all. And I applaud all of them. And to be able to be in a position where you can give forward to veterans in order to help their causes and everything, that's kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, the thing is, I just had this conversation with a friend about a week or so ago, and two colleagues that were next to us. And I was introduced as, my friend was introduced as a veteran, served military, and then I'm just a civilian. Well, I kind of don't like that word because I am a civilian, but I'm more of a patriot. And so
I'm a civilian too now.
But we were thinking about this.
Yeah.
If you think about what's a patriot, right? And this guy said, well, you guys are serving. And I go, well, I didn't serve military. He goes, no, that's not what I mean. You guys are serving. I'm not serving to anything. So I'm not a patriot. I said, but you are. Do you like the red, white, and blue? You like the United States? Do you like military? Do you like living? You know, I mean, I gave the basic principles, right? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, well, then you're a patriot. And he goes, yeah, but is there a definition for patriot? In not old days, I'm talking about modern days, modern times, right? So when I think about it, this is what he's telling me. He said, I think that, well, veteran, you know what a veteran is. And you know somebody that served, right? But when you're here at home, what's a patriot? What defines a patriot? Because if I said to you, I'm a civilian, well, then that's the definition. We've been saying this all along. There's a veteran, there's a civilian. But I say, you came to me and said, you're a patriot. And he goes, why do you call yourself a patriot? I said, well, because I think the definition over the last probably 10 years, people use the name philanthropist. But philanthropist in its definition is a totally different term.
Right.
It's usually somebody that has money that is donating and giving to multiple causes, to multiple variants throughout their history of their career and their life or whatever the case may be. But a patriot to me is somebody that's serving. So Stuart, you're a patriot. Yes, you're a veteran, but you're still serving. You're just not serving military. So veteran for you is you've already done that. You served and you came home. Now you're at home. Well, now you're a patriot, but you're still a veteran. So Folly and I, we're looking at this thing going, I just give. It's not because I put a label or a name on it. I don't need that. I don't need an award. I don't need to be recognized. I just do what I do from my heart. I even had this detailed conversation with a friend last night. As much as the issues that you have with nonprofits over the years doing certain things, at the end of the day, I can't quit. I can't stop. So I'm going to continue doing it because it's my nature. It's what's bred into me. However it got there, it's there and it can't go away. I don't know if I feels the same way, but
I do. I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, as I say, with my father in the military, a career Marine, it was a military household. Now, you know, my parents had me when they were in their 40s, so that's kind of a strange dichotomy there as far as timing. But it was interesting. The Vietnam War was going, and my father did not want me to serve. And that struck me as so strange at the time. It wasn't until I got older that I understood, and understanding what he went through, because he was in hot wars 3 in a row. And my father suffered from PTSD before it was even recognized.
Yeah, well, they had a handle.
And frankly, I mean, I don't mind saying this because it is an issue. My father did commit suicide. And, you know, that stuck with me. So, you know, I'm so thankful for the term patriot because just like you, Mark, you know, I felt that way, but it wasn't anything I was recognized, or not recognizing the right word, but I didn't know the label. You know, I want to help. I want to, you know, but I'm too old and broken to serve, you know, actively in the military, but I want to help. I want to be a part of it in some manner. And the only way I can join that is through, you know, volunteering or donating or whatever, you know, I can. So anyway.
Well, I was going to say funny, but it's not really funny. My issue this last year, Ty, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but 90%, if not higher, most of my colleagues and friends are all veterans or have served or still serving in military. So I really rarely have the normal civilian friends that never have served. It's very few friends. So I'm raised up as an Army brat. But I was the latter part of it. My brother and sister got to experience the first part. I was the accident 17 years later. My dad had already service was already over with, from World War II to the first few years in as a veteran of VFW, as a Veterans of Foreign Wars. You know, he served. That was it. Then he came home to work, and so then I was bored. And I was having this conversation with a veteran friend of mine, and it always gets to the point of they'll ask, "Did you guys serve?" And it's because I guess I've been around so many veteran friends and colleagues, people probably for the most part, I don't feel it, but they think that I serve. And I get this everywhere, even when we go to retail stores. It's the demeanor, I guess, the look, whatever. But my wife and I will be standing anywhere. It doesn't matter where we go. He goes, well, I'll give you a military discount. I'll be like, I didn't serve. She goes, oh, you didn't?
You know, it's funny. I had that exact same thing happen to me.
It's not because it's how we're acting. I don't feel like I'm doing it any different. But I'm having this conversation. This only happened this last year. It hasn't happened the years prior that I get introduced to with a friend. And it's always, yes, I served, and he's civilian.
Well, it's like you're recognized as a veteran because you're traveling or hanging out with a veteran.
Right.
So it's like an assumption. But you know, when I go to places, I very often wear my Vietnam veteran cap, and I'm proud to say that very, very often somebody will walk over to me and say, thank you for your service. And I will thank them. And I say, are you a veteran? And they'll say, no, I'm not. I said, oh, well then thank you for being a patriot. And I want them to know that there is a term for somebody who recognizes me as having served.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? When I grew up as a young kid, and I want to say probably ages from, I guess, second grade, we'll say second grade to probably 10th, 11th grade. In my district, in my school, it wasn't that it was a frowned upon, but if you were wearing red, white, and blue, there must be something wrong with you, or something must be something special. So you really didn't proudly wear the red, white, and blue. I didn't start really not caring and worrying about it until I probably got into my late 20s, early 30s, when it's like, I just don't care. I loud and proud. That's my favorite. Loud and proud. Wear the colors. Be the colors. So you see all my hats, and you see everywhere I go, it's red, white, and blue.
After Vietnam, there were a lot of people that thought that if you wore red, white, and blue, you were a nonconformist. That and I'm glad that we've outgrown that and recognized that if you put on a uniform and served, you are a veteran. And if you recognize those that have done that, you're a patriot. Now, if you don't give a crap about anybody that ever put on the uniform, then you're in a different category.
What
but
you
I'm
do,
glad to say, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Take it elsewhere.
That would be they can go to hell. So anyway,
there's a window right there.
Yes, right. Yes.
Hold on.
There's a shortcut to downstairs.
There you go. Yeah. No, it's funny. Y'all remember? I think it was on the Johnny Carson show that Abby Hoffman came on with a flag shirt, and it wasn't to be patriotic. It was to be a nonconformist, or
right.
And that did change, but I remember that when people would wear the American flag or red, white, and blue, it was more of a derogatory statement on their part, and it finally morphed into, well, this is now a patriotic statement. Because I remember that was a big deal when I think it was Johnny Carson when he came on with that shirt, and now it would be, oh well, he's a flag waver. Back then it wasn't looked at that way.
Right.
It's funny how things have changed, but
yeah,
I really like that term patriot. When I joined that organization, I thought that was very cool. Because I have I have some guilt to have not served. So that's the reason I was always looking to give back. And for me personally, because of my father's situation, my art talent, if you want to call it that, actually came from my father. But he suppressed it because at that day and age, and being a Marine, that wasn't something that you showed off with.
Right.
And it wasn't until after he retired that he got back into it. And he did watercolors and that sort of thing, but he did it earlier in life too. And I didn't even know about it until after he retired. So, you know, so the whole art military thing for me personally ties in. So it's a great scenario for me.
Interesting.
Well, and it's interesting to see that very often on some applications, it no longer says veteran or non-veteran. It'll say veteran or patriot.
Yeah.
And those are the two choices. Well,
yeah, I wish that we would. I love where this is going, and I'm hoping that patriotism becomes stronger and more bold and more loud and proud over the years. You know, and not to get political, but there was a conversation that I had months ago, and it would have been really awesome to see this happen in our lifetime. Would be is let's get rid of the Republicans and Democrat name, and let's just create patriotism. You know, let's all work for each other. Let's all work for a common ground and a common goal. Because right now everybody's fighting each other, and that's not what we're here for. You know.
Yeah, and, it's an environment of either you're with me or against me, depending on.
But why can't we just live this life and enjoy it?
Well, I can tell you guys, and I think y'all know me well enough that I have views that would piss off Democrats and Republicans. So it could be on the same topic. So I love it, you know. But the thing is just being able to have a conversation, and that's what we're missing. That's what drives me crazy.
You cannot have a debate without getting killed.
Yeah,
you can't. I mean, killed in social media, killed in general, killed everywhere, because you cannot have that conversation. You're too bold, and you're not valued as to have an opinion.
Yeah,
it's my way or the highway.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just one of my little pet peeves, you know. So I just argue with Doug and Stuart, you know.
What else you got?
Well, hey guys, it was great having this conversation, and I may have to dump out some of my guests from time to time just so that I could do something off the cuff like this, because this was really very, very enjoyable. And Ty, thank you. You're the winner of the big prize, and it'll be parked out front of your house probably by tomorrow afternoon.
Oh yeah, I imagine it's going to be a really big prize. Right.
As soon as I can get some guy to rip one off, he'll park it in your garage.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I can't wait. You know, the anticipation is just overwhelming.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what, Ty. I'll give you a prize. You ready?
Okay.
No. It's a serious prize. Okay.
All right.
I'm flying in next Friday. I'll be there Friday and Saturday. I'm leaving on Sunday.
I'm going to be out of town.
Damn you! Because I was going to offer you a free drink, cigar. I mean, come on.
Hey, I'm meeting some old college friends, fraternity brothers, down at a house in Lake Travis. So,
okay.
You know.
Well, hey, maybe I'll show up and I'll have it for him.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hey, I take you up on it.
Tim for watching.
I think you need to just change your travel plans, Mark. You know.
Right.
Would it help you to stay in town if I told you there's a poker tournament?
Oh boy, no. Well, there'll be plenty of poker where I'm going too. So.
Wrong kind of poker.
Hey, guys, both of you. Mark, thank you very much for jumping in, and Ty, thanks for joining us this morning. It was a great edition of Someone You Should Know. I always say go out and be yourself, because everyone else is taken. And that'll do it as a wrap for this show. And join us again next week for another edition of Someone You Should Know. Go out and make it a good one. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Stuart.
Take it easy.